Oh, hello, dear students. This is Dr. Srinivasappa, Department of English, Government First Aid College, Sira. The college is affiliated with University Karnataka. This is almost the last session that I am going to conclude the thematic background of the play We Have the World by William Congreve. Uh, it is the second part of the thematic background. In the first part that I spoke and discussed something about thematic background of the play. And now I am going to complete and conclude the thematic background with this session as a second part. We see the uh, adultery of Fainall and Mrs. Marwood. This was the secret adultery of Fainall and Mrs. Marwood, and he wanted to disclose the plot of the Mirabelle to Lady Wishford and get all the property, and he go away from Mrs. Fainall and settle with Mrs. Marwood. This was the plan and adultery that was made, and he was trying to get successful in this. This is the secret behind this. And now let us see the what adultery he has and what plan was made by Fainall to get all the property, as he purposefully married Mrs. Fainall for money. At the outset, it was discussed. This move of Fainall's is now countered. Millamant says that she will marry Sir Wilful to save her own fortune. It was a trick made by her. Fainall insists that he wants to control the rest of his wife's money and immediate management of Lady Wishford fortune. He wanted to get all the property, he could become the owner of the property of Lady Wishford. This was the plan of Fainall. When Mirabelle brings two servants to prove that Fainall and Mrs. Marwood were themselves guilty of adultery, and Fainall ignores the accusation and points out that he will still create a scandal which would blacken the name of Mrs. Fainall unless he gets the money. This is a threat made by Fainall to Lady Wishford. In this way, he was demanding the money from Lady Wishford. That is what we could see later. Lady Wishford, when she was convinced the fact behind the plot and the adultery of Mr. Fainall and Mrs. Marwood by the Mirabelle, she had changed her mind, could become calm and forgives all the that is misinterpretations and allegations of Mirabelle, and she pardon all his that is the faults and mischievousness, and she wanted to consent uh, to give Mirabelle to um, Millamant to Mirabelle. And this is what we could see in this that is the slide. Lady Wishford forgives all, and the play ends with happiness. At this point, Mirabelle triumphantly reveals the most successful plot. Before Mrs. Fainall married Fainall, she and Mirabelle had suspected the man's character, and she had appointed her lover trustee of her fortune. Fainall is left with no claim to make because Mrs. Fainall does not control her own money. He and Mrs. Marwood live in great anger. Sir Wilful steps aside Millamant's suitor. Lady Wishford forgives the servants and consents to match of Mirabelle and Millamant. And this is a that is Lady Whispered being a senior character in the play and widowed, and she was having a lot of wealth, uh, and very the strong woman having all kinds of relationships even at the age of 55. And she though she was very strong and having a temperament, still finally she could understand the reality that was disclosed and convinced logically by the Mirabal, and she forgives all the allegations and misinterpretations of the Mirabal in the beginning, and give the consent to marry Millamant to Mirabal. And this was the happy ending of the play with the marriage of Mirabal and Millamant by the consent of all. And this is how the play is going to end. Thank you for listening the brief that is thematic background of the play in the second part. I made two part for this, and this is the second part you are going to listen. And with this session, I am going to that is end my session that I have that is scheduled for the play We Have the World. Thank you for listening. Meet in the next session with the next unit. Thank you very much.